Hello students, welcome back with me Miss Dwi with TST Online Learning. How are you all? I hope that you are doing great. And please don't forget to wash your hands for 20 seconds as usual because it's really essential to kill the virus around. You don't know if you have got the virus, so washing your hands is really important. Right, our topic today is about reading and it is about Everest expedition. I believe that you have ever watched a movie about climbing a mountain. And here the mountain is Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. And before you go reading, I would like to put a video here for 4 minutes. Please watch carefully. Please see what the people use during the hiking, their equipment, how they breathe, and everything that you see there. Please. So I got this video from YouTube for you so you can learn how they climb Everest. Yes, they're about to reach the summit or the top of the mountain, the highest point of the mountain. And they have rope to help them climb. If you can see, they have got shoes with knife. Below, it is not a real knife or kitchen knife, but their boots, their shoes, have sharp things so they can walk on ice because they don't want to get slipped when they walk. Can you hear some people are coughing there? Yes, because it's hard to breathe. So, because the oxygen is so thin, oksigennya sedikit banget, jadi kamu akan sulit bernafas di Everest. Yep, even though you see air, but the oxygen is so thin. Oksigennya sedikit banget. So, if you climb Everest, you have to bring oxygen tube, tabung oksigen for you to breathe, to help you breathe. And then, can you see their clothes? Yes, they wear really thick clothes. The jacket is not just normal winter jacket, but it is climbing jacket. It's super thick and it's really expensive. Why do they climb? Yes, because they love challenge and they want to prove themselves that they can do it even though it is hard. They have to be really careful, and thankfully in this video the weather looks good so they don't get storm or strong wind or rain.
If you want to try it, Mo and Tom,
I hope that this video gives you some clues how about climbing the highest mountain in the world, Everest.
Like lay your sender down about.
Now let's we go to our main topic, reading. Please open your class book, page 90, because I will read the text and then you will listen. Please take it and listen carefully. You can stop this video first to take your book. Everest Expedition. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. It is named after George Everest, the first person to record its location and height. The first people to climb to the top of Mount Everest were Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. Tenzing was a mountain climber from Nepal and Hillary was an explorer from New Zealand. They were part of a large expedition including 362 porters and 20 guides. The expedition started in March 1953. It took the team many weeks to get close to the top of the mountain. Some of the climbers had to give up when their equipment didn't work and they couldn't get enough oxygen, but Hillary and Tenzing continued the expedition. There was heavy snow and freezing winds, but by 28 May, Hillary and Tenzing were near the summit. They slept in a tent that night. The next morning, Hillary's boots were frozen solid outside the tent. It took 2 hours to melt the ice and get the boots warm. Hillary and Tenzing climbed the last part of the mountain. They used ice axes to pull themselves up the icy rocks. On 29th May, they reached the summit. They stood on the highest point on Earth. Then Hillary took some photos and they buried some chocolates in the snow for future climbers. They only stayed at the top of Everest for about 15 minutes because it was difficult to breathe. There isn't much oxygen at 8,848 meters. Since then, many people have climbed Mount Everest. The oldest person to reach the summit was Yuichiro Miura from Japan. He was 80 years old. The youngest person was Jordan Romero from the USA. He was 13. After you heard a reading from me, I want to discuss 8 vocabularies for you. For the vocabulary list, you can see your class book, part 3, in the pink box. You have got location, height, oxygen, expedition, summit, equipment, frozen, and melt. Right now, you've got 2 pictures for the vocabulary, location and height. Everest is located in Nepal. Yes, the mountain is long, but the summit is in Nepal. Yes, location, where something is, the location. Next vocabulary is height. Height. Please repeat. Height. It is how tall something is. How tall something is. And for a mountain, you count from 0 meter until the top of the mountain. For Everest itself is until 8,848 meter. So tall, right? Nah, height means ketinggian. You don't use height to measure people or person or tree. For people, you use tall. How tall is Raphael? Nah, but for mountain, you use height. How is the height of Mount Everest? Now you can see the difference. Nah, next vocabulary, summit and expedition. The picture on the left is expeditions, means group of people who go for the same goals. Mereka pergi bersama-sama dengan agenda yang sama, tujuan yang sama, untuk mencapai tujuan yang sama. For this one, Everest expedition is to go to the top of Everest. And the picture on the right is summit, puncak. Yep, you use word summit to say about the top of the mountain. And people usually take picture when they are on the top of mountain or on the summit. Yes, because it is to prove, to make them remember that, oh, I've been here, I have been here, I have reached the summit. I am proud of myself. Summit, puncak. Okay, don't forget about that. Oh yeah, based on the story on your reading section, even though 300 people went for the expedition, but based on the story, only 2 persons who reached the summit. Walaupun ada ratusan orang yang pergi dalam ekspedisi tersebut, tapi hanya 2 orang yang sampai ke puncak, right? Do you still remember about that? Next vocabulary is oxygen and equipment. Equipment is peralatan. When you climb high mountain, when you are on the top, it is usually hard to breathe because the oxygen is so little. Oksigennya tipis banget, jadi kamu bakal susah untuk bernafas. And for the special case like when you climb Everest, you have to bring oxygen tube to help you breathing, to provide you oxygen. And when you go on an expedition, you have to prepare your equipment. And for this Everest, you can see many equipments on the list. Yes, for Everest expedition, the equipments are so many. But yes, because the experience will be great, so that's okay to carry many equipments like on the picture. The last 2 vocabularies are frozen and melt. Yes, because Everest is covered with thick ice and sometimes snowy, so sometimes when you put things outside of your tent, they become frozen, membeku. Just like from the example, the picture on the left, frozen. And the opposite of frozen, kebalikan dari kata frozen adalah melt. Melt, mencair. When you hit your eyes, it melts. Alright, that's all about our discussion today. Now it is time for task. Yes, at the end of the video you will get a task. Your task today is to read aloud your class book page 90, just like what Miss Dewey did in this video. And then when you read, please make a voice note. Voice note, you can use phone recording or WhatsApp voice note. And then please don't forget to send to me. Thank you students and bye!